Hi, Funo. Hi, Funo. How are you?
Hi, ma'am, I'm good and you?
How's things going? How's your music business? I saw your Valentine's video. You're a very talented singer.
Thank you, ma'am. I have a I have a song coming up with a mainstream artist right now that I'm working on, ma'am.
Oh, wow. Who's the mainstream artist? Not that I know many artists, but I'll Google.
I don't know if you know Zuchi Coke Dope.
No, I don't, but I will Google. So you are making it with a mainstream artist now. That's fantastic.
Thank you so much. He's actually the second mainstream artist that I have ever
Oh,
worked with.
so the
Yes, ma'am.
music business is going very well. And what happened last year? We discussed that collaboration with things like, product placement in your videos. Did it ever materialize?
Oh, ma'am, I was struggling to come up with the way to approach them,
Now that
like they
you
were.
are more well known with leading
Yes, ma'am.
artists, that will be carrying more weight for you because you now got heavyweight artists.
I should probably mention that, ma'am.
Yeah, now you must mention that you're working with heavyweight artists that probably have a big following, and you can advertise, I don't know, products like Axe deodorant and all these cool products. I assume you are targeting your music targets young cool people. So
Yes,
all the
ma'am.
products, you must think about all the products that cool young people, maybe cell phones, technology, laptops, feature that in your videos because it looks like that's who you're targeting, like hip,
Oh, yes, ma'am.
up and
Because
coming
like
young
I did
people. Yeah.
because I did a song about WhatsApp, like it's called
Oh,
WhatsApp Stories. So like
oh,
I wanted to approach WhatsApp, but I didn't know, I wasn't sure if they have headquarters in South Africa, like
they're owned by
for WhatsApp.
Facebook. WhatsApp is owned
Oh,
by Facebook.
yo.
So when you log into WhatsApp, it says WhatsApp owned by Facebook. So you'll have to see how you can contact Facebook in South Africa. But yeah,
Oh, okay, okay.
WhatsApp is owned by Facebook. So sometimes, if you don't not sure who a company is owned by, like, for example, X deodorant, I think it's owned by the Unilever company. So you have to go and do work like that. But yeah, how otherwise are you well? Why are you repeating? What went wrong? Tell me. I'm not recording yet,
Oh no,
but
ma'am. I, I've never done economics before. I was supposed to do
oh,
it. I think second year, but because of it was my mom was a bit struggling with the finances, so
okay,
that was the only
understood.
subject that.
Okay, fantastic. Because I was like, oh, I I thought Funo, but I was thinking of business management too. So you passed that. You in BMN 3 now, right?
No, ma'am. I passed BMN 3.
Oh, you finished B. Oh, right, of course.
Yes,
Excellent.
ma'am.
So are you doing your fourth year research now?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, right. Excellent. So you're only doing the fourth year courses and you're
And
doing,
economics.
okay, all right. Okay, so now I'll start recording and, uh, oh, it was recording. Okay, doesn't matter. Um, right. Okay, so welcome, folks, to Economics 1 of 2021. Now, you'll see that this course, there aren't many, as far as I can see, not many people registered. The reason being that we have recurriculated this course. So the newcomers will be doing a semester version of economics. Um, they'll be doing a semester version of economics starting in June, semester B. Okay, so as far as I see, I know you asked me about an economics group. There's only two of you. Last night I had one lady from part-time, Noreen, and yourself, Funo, that are registered for this course. Because, like I say, it's sort of on phase out. Um, we have brought in a new version of economics that new students are doing. So this is basically for people who are registered like you, on the old degree who never did economics, who are repeating economics, that sort of thing. So it's basically the WhatsApp group is you and Noreen. I'll just create one if I haven't already done so. Okay, so how are we going to work this year? So let's look at our agenda for today is as follows. Number one is a meet and greet. And since we already know each other pretty well, we've already done a meet and greet. You know me and I know you, and we have spent a lot of time in class together. Number two is I'm going to explain the way forward for 2021. So at least for this semester, we'll put it S1 or semester A 2021, and then we'll quickly discuss the assessments. Okay. All right. So the way forward and how I am going to deliver the content this year, I'm going to share my screen with you in a minute. So I'm going to stop sharing this. And I'm going to share with you right. Okay, so let me come back and share my screen. Right, so if you go each week onto Call Campus, you will click modules, and what you'll see is that I have preloaded. Okay, so there's a subject outline. I'll go through that with you just now. I'll open it. Then each week you'll see material being loaded. Okay, sorry, the subject outline you can go through on your own. It basically tells you what the subject is about, some of the outcomes, etc. So what I did is a more user-friendly version of the subject outline is the roadmap, which I created, and I'll discuss that with you in a minute. Then you'll see I've already gone and got Janet, who is our acting academic manager, to upload chapter 1, part 1, which is a PowerPoint slide set. And then what you see in week 1 lecture is actually me explaining. So it's a recording, a Zoom recording of me explaining chapter 1, part 1. So what you'll do each week is you will come at a convenient time for you. You know, if it's after hours, after midnight, you want to come and download these Zoom recorded lectures and PowerPoint slides, you do that, you watch it. These lectures, I say it in inverted commas, are actually me explaining you the theory, okay? So you can download that, watch it, rewatch it, watch it at your time, etc. Then you will come each week. This is our class, Friday 10:30, and we will then discuss the material. So we will do examples. If you have questions on the material, I can help you. We will do activities, etc. So the live Zoom sessions this year are going to be there to discuss the pre-recorded material. So it's a little different from the way I operated last year. But I found last year that a lot of students, you know, if I did the explanation during the live Zoom session, they had bandwidth issues, they would drop off. So it was difficult to be explaining and to do discussion in the same Zoom session. So this year I've separated it. All the theory you can download, go through it on your own. The live session is for discussion, for questions, for examples, for further explanation of the work. So you'll see Janet has already uploaded week 2's work. So you can download it and it will cover the whole of, in week 1 and week 2, we will have covered chapter 1. Okay. So this is where you will come for each of your modules, under modules. Okay, but you're not doing any of my business management, so it doesn't matter. But this is where you will get your information. Okay, so now I just want to go through the roadmap quickly. I'm quickly going to open that. All right, so you should now be seeing a little PowerPoint slide in front of you, and it says economics. So the code for you is ECO1. please make sure that you use that code whenever you have any queries. When you submit your assignment, make sure you submit in the right place, because we also have HECO 132, which is the new version of economics, because we've recurriculated, kind of like revised the degree. So just to make sure that I mark you correctly with the correct memo and send your marks through correctly, make sure you know your course code is ECO1. Okay, don't confuse that. All right, so what are we going to get up to this year? A lot of students, and I'm sure, Funo, you also will find economics very interesting and very useful, especially since you're going to be a very big famous artist. All of these principles of economics will be of relevance to you. And since I think it's just going to be you and I will be able to tailor, or try as far as possible to tailor the examples to your industry when we do our Zoom discussions. Okay, I can't say I know that much about your industry, but you'll teach me, and we'll try and make the whole course applicable and relevant to your industry. And then when you're a very big singer and an artist who goes platinum, and you book out the entire Soccer City, don't forget to give a shout out to your humble lecturer.
I will, ma'am.
I'll hold you to that. If I hear there is a concert at Soccer City and the star performer is Funo, I will go and sit at my sister's house, which is not so far, and you can hear what's happening in Soccer City, and I will listen out for my shout out. Okay. Personally, I'm a very old, boring lady. I don't like concerts, too much noise for me, but I will listen from far and I will wait for my shout out. Okay. Right. So what are we going to do in this course is we are going to spend an entire year. So that's why I say you must include ECO1. Then we know you're doing the year course, because in semester B, we're going to get other students, new first years, who are going to do the half course. Okay. So the first 6 months, we're going to focus on microeconomics, and you can see there it's academic weeks 1 to 14, because we have 28 weeks in the year, and then macro will be the second half of the year. So if you just have a quick quiz, take a minute to read the difference between micro and macro while I grab some juice, and I'll be back in a second. Okay, so micro in English means small. Microeconomics is basically that branch of economics in which we're going to look at economics at the level of the firm or household. We're going to look at topics like supply and demand, scarcity, the circular flow, which tells us a little bit about how the economy and all the participants in the economy work together. We're going to look at a model of scarcity, the production possibility frontier. We're going to look at elasticity, and then we're going to look at the different market structures. So there we look at how concentrated firms in a particular industry are. Okay, maybe we can relate that to record labels and things like that when we get there. So I've basically given you a little bit of a roadmap here, which guides you and tells you where we're going, what we're covering, what you need to do. So where will you find and how will you study this each week? Like I said, I will put PowerPoint slides and Zoom recordings. So the PowerPoint slide will also contain links to YouTube videos. Sometimes I'll say in the PowerPoint slide, complete activity 1A or 1B in the textbook, and then you can complete that activity. And then when we come to the live Zoom session, we can then discuss the activity, if you had any problems, but the answers to all the activities are in the back of the book. Okay, so how will your studies be directed? Like I said, PowerPoint slides, recordings, and then live Zoom sessions for discussion. Okay. Then after we have done the whole microeconomics, which is basically chapters 1 to 5 in your textbook, we will then move on to second semester or semester B, and we will discuss macroeconomics. Now, this is probably what you're a lot more familiar with, because this is what you hear about on the radio, on the TV, in the news, etc. Macroeconomics is about inflation, unemployment. We've heard a lot about unemployment over the past few months, with a lot of prominent firms closing down. Just last week, we heard that the Greyhound bus company shut its services entirely, and that would result in a couple of hundred job losses or 1,000 job losses. So we hear a lot about inflation, prices rising, cost of living getting more expensive. We hear about poverty, inequality. So all of that falls under macroeconomics, and a lot more students are familiar with macro than they are with microeconomics. So we will cover that in the second half of the year, and we will talk about all the high-level economic decisions and problems that governments have to deal with. We'll also look at things like international trade, exchange rates, etc. Again, I'm not quite sure how semester B will run, whether we will be back to face-to-face class or whether we will continue doing online. But if we are still online, I will continue to post recordings, etc. Otherwise, we may be back to face-to-face, or we might have some combination of face-to-face and online. We haven't been told anything about how semester B will run. We just know that semester A, we will have mostly Zoom classes, but somewhere towards the end of March, Karika mentioned that we'll have some face-to-face classes. Okay, dates, times, all of that to be confirmed. But just for students who have connectivity difficulties and who actually like to be in class, we will be running some face-to-face workshops towards the end of March, I'm told. Okay, right. So this is basically the roadmap and what we're going to cover, when we're going to cover it, how we're going to cover it, and why it is of relevance. Okay. So the next thing we're going to talk about today is then the assessments. Right, so our agenda was to have a meet and greet. We've done that. The way forward for semester 1, 2021 is, like I said, looking up and watching the Zoom recordings, doing the activities, watching the YouTube videos, and then coming to my live session to have an interaction. So perhaps more students will register. It may be more than just you and I, or it may be just you and I, but that's fine. What that means is there won't be much peer-to-peer learning for you, unfortunately. So peer-to-peer learning is in the discussions when you listen to your fellow classmates and you learn from them. That may not be present, but that's not a big stress. I will try and compensate for that. Okay, so number 3 is assessments. So please do note that this is as I said before, full year course. Okay, the new students are going to do a semester course or a half course. So that means you are going to have a total of 4 assessments. Okay, you're going to have a total of 4 assessments. Your F1, I will brief. Let me just clean this. Clear. Okay. Right. So your F1 will be briefed in week 3. So I already have I think I've already created a recording of the assignment briefing, but they haven't put it up yet because it's only meant to be briefed in week 3. Okay. Let me just tell you when it's due quickly, which week. Let me get my file. Right, so F1 will be an assignment. So please make sure you take care of your referencing. And all of the feedback that I've given you previously on incorrect referencing and errors to avoid, please pay attention to that. Okay. I also do have a recording of all the common referencing errors. So I will display that when we put up the assignment briefing recording. So it's briefed in week 3. The assignment will be then due in week, I don't know the exact date and time. That will be printed on the assignment. I don't get to choose that. But according to the calendar, the F1, all the F1s will be due in the week of 26th, April. Okay. Then F2 will be a closed book exam for which you will come to campus, and you know, there will be a combination of multiple choice questions as well as, you know, longer questions. But during the Zoom sessions and during the recordings, I will guide you as to what areas to focus on, and we will also do practice. You know, we will get practice during our live sessions. I will give you activities, all of that. That will guide you as to what to focus on for the F2. The F2 exam will then be written in the week of 21 June. Okay. So in the week of 21 June, all your F2s will be submitted or written. I don't know the exact date and time. That will be confirmed. Okay, then we will have in June, F3 later on in the year, and F4. Those are to be confirmed. What will be an assignment? I think F3 is an assignment, and then F4 is again a closed book exam. So that's basically our way forward, and that is Economics 1 for 2021. Are there any questions from your side, Funo? Anything you uncertain?
No. I'm okay, ma'am.
Okay. So what you want to do now is you want to go through the material for week 1 and week 2, which is chapter 1. And then what we do next week in the session is we will start to discuss chapter 1. We will do examples. If you have any questions, if there's anything you didn't understand, we will take it from there. And we'll probably give you more, you know, examples and case studies and things like that. And then I'll point out what you need to know and how you need to know, what you need to know and what you need to be able to do for the assessments. Okay, so have you looked at the material yet?
Yes, ma'am. I have looked at the 3 types of economic activities, like the recession, expansion, and
Okay.
I forgot the last one. Then
Stability.
I watched everything.
Okay,
Yes,
so you
ma'am.
watch that. So now you want to watch week 2 stuff. So then we'll have a discussion next week on the whole of chapter 1 in our live Zoom session. So week 2 stuff is
Yes,
there.
ma'am.
You can start looking at that anytime before our session, and then we will discuss chapter 1 and make notes of any questions and things like that. All right.
All right, ma'am.
All right, Funo, thank you. And it was nice chatting to you, and see you next week.
Thank you, ma'am.
If Funo, if you would like to have somebody else, I don't know if it's possible for you to join Thursday night's part-time session.
Thursday nights,
So
part-time
Thursday
sessions.
night at 6 p.m., there's one other lady. So you see, like I'm saying, is there isn't peer-to-peer learning here because you are alone with me. On Thursday night at 6 p.m., I have the Economics 1 part-time session, and there's another lady, Noreen, and she works as a media planner. So if the two of you, if it's possible, obviously, because you're obviously entitled to come to the session that suits you, but if possible, you know, if you could join the Thursday night at 6 p.m., then you and Noreen are in the same sort of industry, media, the examples, the discussion could be more fruitful. I don't know. it an option for you?
Okay, ma'am. I'll join the Thursday 6 p.m., ma'am.
Okay, but if you can't, then I mean, this session has to go on. So if you can't, just see how it goes. Drop in, you do this, drop in on Thursday, see how it goes, and then you can decide. But in any case,
ma'am.
I will still, sorry?
Is it the same link?
No, it's a
The
different
same
link.
ID?
It's a different link.
Oh,
Is it
okay,
not?
okay.
Is it
I'll
showing
check.
up for you or not? It may not. Yeah, it
Uh,
should show up. It should show up because Call Campus uses the same for part-time and full-time. So it should show up.
okay, ma'am. I'll check I'll
Okay.
check on Call Campus.
You can give it a
Okay, ma'am.
shot, and if it doesn't work, we can always still keep your Friday session. But I think there'll be a lot of cross-pollination between you and her and your ideas in terms of media and examples and things like that. But yeah, you can give it a shot, and then we'll take it from there. So go through all of the work, go through the textbook, and then look at the activity as well, and we'll discuss next time.
All right. Thank you so much, ma'am.
All right, Funo, thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye, ma'am.